Welcome back everybody to another championship predictions video. We're now up to game week 36. These fixtures taking place on Friday, March the 7th through to Sunday, March the 9th. It all kicks off Carrow Road where Norwich City take on Oxford United. Oxford in a terrible run of form at the moment after a good turnaround just before and after Christmas, but they are in 18th position, 3 losses on the bounce, and they're in danger of being caught up with the likes of Luton if Luton can pick up points themselves. Norwich City, form's been erratic, 1 win in their last 5, but they've only lost once as well. Last time out was a 1-1 draw against Blackburn Rovers. In this one at home, I think they'll take all 3 points in a 2-0 victory. Next up, we go to the Ricoh Arena where Coventry City, look at that, 6 wins in their last 7 matches, take on an erratic Stoke City. As you can see, Coventry now, after that great run of form, are in the playoff picture in 5th position. I think Coventry will probably win this match, although Stoke will give them a tough game. I think Sky Blues will concede, but I think they'll win this one 2-1. Next up, we move to Vicarage Road where Watford take on Millwall, and it was a bit of a surprise to me that Millwall lost at home against the Wurzels the other night, 2-0. Watford, they blow hot and cold themselves. A draw against Stoke last time out. I think being at home, they'll probably edge this one, and I'm going to go for a very, very narrow 1-0 win. We then move to Ashton Gate where Bristol City take on Hull City. Hull fighting against relegation. They did get that win against Plymouth Argyle, which was a huge victory for the Tigers, and Bristol City, as I've just mentioned, beating Millwall 2-0. They followed that up. Prior to that was a very good victory against Middlesbrough. Currently, Bristol City knocking on the playoffs, equal on points with the Baggies on 52 points, but so they'll be looking to get at least a point in this fixture, and I think they will. I think they'll narrowly beat the Tigers, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 home victory. We then go to Turf Moor where Burnley take on Luton Town. A massive scare for Burnley in midweek against Cardiff City. Okay, they came through with a 2-1 victory, but second half they were under pressure for long periods, and they were very, very, very lucky not to lose that match. But I think they should have just a little bit too much for this Luton side, who Luton beating Portsmouth last time out in the league. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win to Burnley. I think Burnley are better at home than they are away. We then move to Pride Park where Derby County take on Blackburn Rovers, and Derby look dead and buried, don't they? Along with Plymouth, who've struggled recently. It looks like they're going to be returning to Division 1 next season. Can they get anything up against this Blackburn Rovers side who've lost and drawn their last 2 matches? A decent enough draw against Norwich in the last fixture. And I think Blackburn will just edge this one in a 2-1 away win. Too many 2-1s though, I predict. Next up, we move to Home Park on the south coast where Plymouth Argyle, without a win in the last 4 matches, and for Sheffield Wednesday it's 4 defeats in their last 5 matches for the Owls. A 2-1 reverse against Sunderland last time out when they played, and Plymouth, it was that defeat against Hull City. This one I think is going to end up in a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. Next up, we move to Bramall Lane where Sheffield United take on Preston North End. Preston, of course, beating Burnley in the FA Cup 3-0 over the weekend, although Burnley made a lot of changes. And in the league, Preston drew with Swansea 0-0. I don't think Sheffield United have too many problems here. They've got a little bit more of a rest in their legs, Sheffield United here, and I think the Blades will win this one 2-0. We then move up to the northeast where Sunderland take on Cardiff City, and Cardiff second half look fantastic against Burnley. Most people are going to go for a home win here for Sunderland, but at home recently they've lost to Hull City, and what was it, a draw against Watford recently as well. A win in their last match away against Sheffield Wednesday, and in this one I'm actually going to predict a win for Cardiff. I think they'll concede because at times Cardiff's defence is woeful, and I'm going to go for a very, very surprising scoreline here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory. Is that my heart ruling my head? Perhaps, but Cardiff is probably the performance of the season from them in the second half against Burnley. Let's see if they can continue that onto Saturday. Talking about South Wales clubs, we've got the Jacks, Swansea, a draw against Preston, midweek 0-0, and Middlesbrough now back-to-back wins, win against Derby and a win against Stoke. In this one, another tight match. I think it's going to end up all square 1-1. We then move to the Hawthorns, where West Brom take on Queen's Park Rangers. A decent enough point for West Brom at Elland Road last time out with a 1-1 scoreline, and QPR now, look at that, 5 defeats in their last 7 matches. A 2-1 reverse against Sheffield United last time out. In this one, I fancy the Baggies to take all 3 points in a 1-0 home win. Next up we move to Fratton Park for the final fixture of this game round, where Portsmouth take on Leeds United. In the league last time, Portsmouth succumbing to a 1-0 defeat against Luton. Portsmouth pretty strong at home, but they're taking on a Leeds side who are very strong home and away. They were held at Elland Road 1-1 against West Brom, but I don't think they'll have too many problems here against Portsmouth. Portsmouth do put the opposition under a lot of pressure at home, but I think they'll succumb to a 3-1 home defeat. So those are my predictions for game round 36. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website or as a comment below. Coming to the business end of the season now. It's all to fight for at the top end, and at the bottom end we've got another round of fixtures in midweek as well. But for now, enjoy the championship action over the weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video.